Oh yeah.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo people, what's poppin'? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy. Guess what? With me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Genuinely do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, daily series here on the channel, sometimes and most of the time twice daily, where I follow all the stories regarding Chelsea, the Chelsea news from across the globe, what's being reported, what's being spoken about, and how I feel about it. I open up to you guys, and we do, and I learn English, and we talk about it down in the comment section below. Lots of stuff to get into today. The main story is Michael Olise, sensational, exciting Premier League right winger that Chelsea supposedly battling Manchester United for. Apparently, this is our top priority target, which makes you think, you know, what's the future? Is Cole Palmer going to play as this attacking number 8 inside? Is Noni Madueke going to be sold or relegated to the bench? What about all these other right-sided left-footers? So we're going to talk about that. Kendry Pyers being one of them. We'll speak about him today as well. Breuer, of course, a follow-up on the Everton deal that we referenced and reported on yesterday. And yeah, it's going to be a good time here today on the channel for this video. Guys, so strap yourselves in. As always, thank you for liking the video. I can't get the angle right. And subscribing. If you do choose to subscribe, please hit the bell so you get notified when I upload. Because, of course, I'm uploading a lot. So keep up. Right, ladies and gents. Ecuador played Argentina yesterday. Of course, World Cup winners Argentina with captain and GOAT Lionel Messi swapping shirts with young teenager Kendry Pyers, or Paish, as however you pronounce it. Incredible scenes, pictures all round the internet, of course, of Pyers and Leo. A lot of Chelsea fans saying Messi asked for Kendry's shirt. Like, he may have done. I feel like it's highly unlikely. But, you know, he swapped shirts with Kendry, which is wicked. Kendry's, of course, 17. Not long turned 17. He's a Chelsea player. He'll arrive in 2025 this summer. As soon as he turns 18, he could even be available for the Club World Cup, which, of course, starts at the end of next season, which is very exciting. He's progressing all the time, Kendry. He's a superstar. He's another one of these left-footed, right-sided players, but often can occupy cam as in attacking midfield spaces. I mean, how are we going to fill all these kids in? That's a question and a problem to meet when we get there. And for the moment, bro, like, just be gassed. Just be gassed and happy that we've got super Kendry Pyers. This kid looks amazing. Everyone already knows, about him. He's broken loads of records in terms of being young scorers, like for his club, Independiente Valle, or however you say it. And of course for Ecuador as well, breaking loads and loads of records. Everyone knows about him. Now there's pictures all over the internet with Now there's pictures all over the internet with him and Messi. Sensational scenes. Very, very exciting. It's very exciting. It is. Alright, gang, so we're going to speak about Breuer. I do want to speak about something else as well. You know what, let's start on this now. So I'm sure many of you guys will know CIES, Football Observatory, which is a company, a body that basically that does player evaluations, and it does it by, like, many things. Loads of different variables that dictate the value of a player, and that includes contract length as well. So they posted the top 10 players with most transfer value. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the 10th and go down. Okay, so 10th place is Simon Adingra, who plays for Brighton. 9th place is Andre Onana at 50 million euros. So he's already gone down in 10 million in value. I suppose he's 2 years into his contract now, isn't he? Is it 2 years? I think so. Tapsoba by Leverkusen in 8th place. Ousmane Diomande, of course, the Sporting centre-back, he is in 7th place at 60 million euros. So Pape Sarr, of course, the Tottenham midfielder that we know about, he's 70 million euros in value now. As we get to 5th place, Brahim Diaz. He is obviously the Real Madrid player, once of Man City. He's worth 76 million euros. Now, top 4. Victor Osimhen is in 4th place, just over 85 million euros. Napoli won 110 or whatever it is. I think it's going to be PSG or Saudi now for Osimhen. So he's 4th. We're getting to 3rd place. Of course, he's been really, lots of people have seen how good he is. Victor Boniface, of course, which is the Bayer Leverkusen striker for Xabi Alonso's side, who, of course, was part of the invincible league-winning team and, of course, won the cup as well. They're the invincible double, as it were. Obviously lost in the final to Atalanta, which is a game, by the way, he didn't start. He was left on the bench. So he's worth 86.5 million euros. 2nd place, Mohamed Kudus. Interestingly, £89.6 million. They've gone for like 30 million. So he's just trebled in value after like a season at West Ham, which I'm not entirely sure how that works. I guess he's on a long contract. High value player. And you can probably guess, because I'm speaking about this on Football Therapy and Chelsea News, number 1 for the most value, the highest transfer value for an African player, is Nico Jackson. And okay, so Mohamed Kudus is 2nd of 89, over 89. Nico Jackson is 1st at over 99 million. So he's 99.3. Basically 100 million euros is Nicolas Jackson's value. The most valuable African player in terms of transfer value out there currently. Largely because he's young. I don't know if injuries come into it as one of the variables. Of course, he's played lots of games. He's had a good goal return. He's positionally versatile. And, of course, a young player on a long contract playing for Chelsea Football Club and starting loads of games. These were all determined value. He's got a few goals as well, and he looks like he's trending positively. So Nico Jackson cost Chelsea, 30 million, 32 million, is now worth 100 million euros. And yeah, shout out, they have got some transfers, right? These sporting directors, since they've both come together. Of course we had Nkunku arriving, but Gusto, Cole Palmer, Nico Jackson, Noni Madueke, I know he might not be the starter, we'll speak about Olise in a moment, but he costs 28 million quid, Noni Madueke, and he looks like a very good Premier League operating right winger. He's on a long contract, he's a young player, he'll be worth, decent money as well. They've got a lot of stuff right with these young players. We spoke about Kendry Pires, of course, there's other superstar youngsters as well. Messinho will be signed, we've got the Here We Go, but there's him, and of course, we talk about Andre Santos and Gabriel and all those others as well. So yeah, I did want to speak about the value of an African player, because the most valuable one in the world is a Chelsea player. And we've got a proud tradition of having lots of elite Galactico Africans, so I feel like that's a cool thing for Chelsea. Right, let's keep going. So Romano has spoken about Breuer. He said his latest understanding is that the Everton board, like Breuer, but with their financial situation, it's all on standby for now. Well, that kind of goes against what Ben Jacobs saying when they want to get a deal done as quickly as possible. So he says, it's not something imminent or close. Interest is there, as well as many other clubs, as Breuer is 100% expected to leave Chelsea on a permanent transfer this summer. So we know other Premier League teams other than Everton like him. We've spoken about. Definitely Wolves. I think is it West Ham? They certainly were before. And Everton, of course. And then you've got Monaco, Milan, Champions League clubs. He retains a big amount of interest, and Chelsea shouldn't have a problem selling him. So a very desirable asset, which is great for us to have, ultimately. All right, we're going to speak about Olise now. And apparently he's our top target, so let's get into that. So this is coming from Will Lancaster on Give Me Sport. Give Me Sport, seemingly a reputable platform that, of course, hosts journalists like Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs. So, yeah, interesting, and I want to get into it today. So, Michael Olise is one of the Premier League's hottest young talents at the moment, having endured a superb campaign for Crystal Palace under Hodgson and Glasner, of course. But he could be on the move this summer, and some of the division's top clubs are looking to make a move. Give Me Sports sources have revealed that the 22-year-old is Chelsea's top target this summer. Big words to say he's our top target, especially with all these right-sided, left-footed attackers. Chelsea really want Olise. He agreed to join us last summer in terms of, terms agreed. It was a Palace that got very angry and made him sign a new deal and protected their asset a bit more. But Chelsea really, really want him, and he's our top target. Blues are already doing their groundwork with agents throughout the campaign. So yes, the groundwork's already been done. Joining as a highly rated youngster, of course, from Reading back in 2021, Olise began life in decent fashion in South London, but it has been a year where the left-footed wizard has broken through to stardom. Of course, he got 10 goals for the campaign and has seen a host of teams ramp up their interest. And look at the goals as well. It's not just that he's gotten to double digits for goals from a wide position playing for Palace. It's, you use the eye test on Olise. He's absolutely incredible. Yes, so those sources state Chelsea believe they hold an advantage to bring him to West London. Chelsea had originally made their move for Olise last summer. Activating his release clause, which stood around £35 million, which would have been one hell of a deal. But despite being expected to move to Stamford Bridge, the French Olympic star stunningly signed a new deal at Selhurst Park, with his release clause shooting up in value. I think it's to 60 million. Now, this isn't going to elaborate on what I'm going to say. This doesn't elaborate on what I'm about to say. Now, was it Parrish, the head honcho at the big dog at Palace? I think he threatened to sue Chelsea for tapping him up, because there was a big story that Chelsea was speaking to him and then suddenly just pumped the brakes because some action was threatened against Chelsea. Now, that was clearly Crystal Palace not wanting him to go and not wanting to lose him for 35 million. But and he did sign. I think he got a massive pay rise as well and financial security. And I think they promised him that if he does want to go, maybe he'll be sold next summer. Everybody wins kind of thing, but maybe not so much Chelsea, who looked like they could have signed him for 35. Although maybe we did win, because we didn't sign Olise. Do you know what we did? We went and signed this kid called Cole Palmer. He did all right, didn't he? So maybe this is the timeline where we need that to happen to get both. So we end up going to get Palmer, and then we go back for Olise later. What are we going to do with all these young attackers? Give Me Sports sources have revealed that Olise is Chelsea's top target, despite Cole Palmer shining on the right wing throughout the majority of the season. Of course, he moved inside to the cam for some portion of the campaign. There has been plenty of groundwork undertaken with Olise's agency throughout the campaign. In a season what saw him record a combined 15 goals and assists for Palace in the league, which is great from a wide position. And despite just starting 14 games in the top flight, thanks to 2 spells on the sidelines of an injury, Glasler labelled the star man as brilliant after... Oh my God, so hold on. He's got 15 goal involvements in 14 starts, playing for Crystal Palace. Again, not as a striker or a cam, as a wide player. It's an elite return. And again, my whole thing with Olise is watching him play, but that isn't, elite numbers. I mean, that's a tagline. You say 15 goal involvements in 14 starts. It's, again, for Palace, it's not playing for like Man City or Liverpool. Or of them in recent years when they just, develop and generate loads of offensive value. So despite battling Man City and United for his signature, Chelsea believe they hold an advantage over other clubs interested in his service because they've already agreed personal terms of him last season when a move looked to be on the cards before Olise snub the new deal and signed with Palace. Very interesting to find out the truth of that, because he clearly wants to leave. Yeah, he's already agreed terms. I mean, that's a YouTube title for you, because it needs to be reminded, all of us. The rejection has been a blessing in disguise for both teams. Not only has he become a key player for the Eagles, but had he moved, then Cole Palmer would not likely have signed. Like I said, and he's now become an England international. He won the Premier League's Best Young Player of the Season, and he won all the Chelsea Player Awards. So, like I said, this is the timeline we need. So, Michael Olise's squad ranking in Crystal Palace, he's first for match rating, so he's like the superstar. He's first for crosses per game. He's second for dribbles per game, probably only because he plays with Eze as well. Second for key passes per game, second for assists, and he's third for goals, considering he's only had 14 starts. 10 goals in 14 starts. That is Any elite striker. If Erling Haaland is scoring 10 goals in 14 starts, he's thinking great. You know? Further to Chelsea's advantage, of course, his young brother Richard is still in the setup at Cobham, and this could be a big factor in getting him to come back to London. There's a lot of interest from other Premier League and European clubs that could be a sticking point, as Olise would like to try his hand at Champions League football, something Chelsea fell 9 points short of in the Premier League table, but he's open to the right project, and the Chelsea stars seemingly starting to gel in the second half of the last season. A top 4 finish may well be on the cards for Enzo Maresca. Also, he's 22. You got time, baby. You're not like Wilfried Zaha, who turned 30 and was like, had to go to Turkey to get Champions League football. Yeah, you got time, bro. Olise would walk into Chelsea's team is this next segment here. Olise would be battling with Cole Palmer for a slot on the right-hand side initially, but with both stars capable of playing in the hole behind the striker, the number 10 position, there wouldn't be any reason to drop the London. Yeah, basically you could play both of them. Sterling and Mudryk are continuing to stake their claims for a place on the left flank, while Noni Madueke will just, I guess, offer competition and cover and, circulation on the right flank. Bearing in mind, we've got European football now as well. Conference League is like, you could say to Noni, the Conference League's yours. And he should be happy with that. He'd be like, you get some games in the Premier League and Cups, you can be the right winger in the Conference League. Strut your stuff, show how you can play well in a Chelsea shirt in Europe. Do your thing. Why not? Why not? Do you know what I mean? It's there for you. And you'll come off and, you'll also be cover if there's injuries. You should be happy with that. Well, you shouldn't be happy with that if he's got the right mentality, but he should accept that for now and utilise the platform. Yeah, man. And over with the left-hand flank, Madueke, Mudryk, fine. Sterling, Mudryk, fine. Maybe Nkunku could be farmed out left as well, a little bit as well. I think he's done that before. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Gosh darn it. I do believe that there's a place for Raheem Sterling in this setup. Under Maresca, that is. Other than that, shout out Soccer Aid yesterday. I didn't actually watch it. I saw some highlights. I saw Eden Hazard scoring a free kick, joking about how the goalkeeper let it in. Just some of his skills and touches. In the warm-up, I saw a touch of him bring the ball down with not so nonchalantly. Amazing player. Good to see it. Looks like Stamford Bridge welcomed him back. I think Frank Lampard slapped up Pochettino, which is quite funny in terms of management. But it was all in good fun. Lots of smiles and hugs. Cole's... Ashley Cole, Joe Cole back, and John Obi Mikel and Essien, I think, was there. So just good vibes at Stamford Bridge, and it's great to see. Yes, guys, let me know what you think about everything I've spoken about. Comments, start up the conversations with each other. I was going to say with yourselves, maybe not yourselves, but between each other in the comments. And I'll thank you as always for liking and subscribing. I will be back probably later, so turn the bell on if you subscribe, and I will see you back here soon. Peace.